Welcome to George Coll Fine Art. Here, the viewer is encouraged to get outside and paint from life. George's job is to provide the tools to solve the many technical challenges faced in rendering landscape paintings. View the library of landscape paintings offered and become a subscriber. You can also purchase tutorial videos, plus original tutorial and studio paintings. Thank you. And if you like what you see, click the subscribe button and join in on the fun.
Hey, welcome to part 4 of Monticello. I'm George Coll, and we finished the painting. So if you're in Northern Colorado and you want to work with me in studio, I have one class in studio on Wednesdays, and you're welcome to check it out to see if this would be a good place for you. What else? Get outside and paint. Paint with your friends, get critiques, and don't be intimidated by a white canvas. All right, let's get started with part 4. All right, thanks for coming by. Hey, welcome back to part 4. So I had a chance to look at this morning, and I'm going to follow up on what I think needs to be done that I mentioned yesterday at the end of part 3. And that is to break up these parallel lines of junipers and to bring a design in with junipers, kind of a follow-in line. So I think that's going to be part of it. And I think I might brighten up some of the junipers, we'll see, and shrink the size of some of the junipers here. So this is all detail stuff. When I came in this morning and I looked at the clouds, I still love them. I think they really came out well. They're not overdone, they're very soft, and didn't give too much drama up here, but just kind of supported the main character, which is this area up in here. So, okay, if we're going to do junipers, we're going to have to make some juniper mixture. But let's see if I can take out some of these guys. And no, they want to stay in there, but I'm thinning them down a little bit. Okay, now let's make a mixture. So first of all, we're going to make a green. Let's go ultra blue. Ultra blue. And yellow, cad yellow light, cad yellow light. And I'm going to change mixing knives because this one is better for squashing down. And I'm going to add some transparent oxide brown. Transparent oxide brown. Starting the old day here with mixture. Wow, what a pretty green that is. Okay, I'm going to go to my slop green that I had left over. Oh, I may have put in too much white. Darn it. Overshot with the white. Okay, let's go back to blue. Let's go to yellow. And let's go to brown. And let's make some yellow ochre. So let's go yellow, yellow, transparent oxide red, transparent oxide red. Get a little bit more yellow in there. So it's kind of a yellow ochre look here. So we have kind of a juniper, good strong juniper look, and then we have a warm that we can put on top of it. All right, so I'm going to go to a number 3 round, and I'm going to loosen it up in my terp and dry it out, and now get a little bit of medium, which I've described my mixture in previous videos. So let's get in here and get a little bit more yellow in it. There we go. That's pretty darn good. A little darker. And now we're going to put that there. And I think I need something right in here. And here to break up the parallels. And where else can I break up the parallels? I think right in here. All right, I'm going to get back and look at that design, and I filled it in quite a bit. And let's see what I can do about getting some dark in there. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue, rust, or transparent oxide red, and we need just some darks in here in a few places. So I'm doing the darks on the lower side of the greens. And now let's go with some lighter juniper colors. I think I also need some ground color too, so I'm going to make some yellow. I think we had a little blue in there. Some white, a little transparent oxide red, white, and I think we're coming into the, not too far off from what we need for a ground color. Let me see if I've got that. It's a little bit on the light side, so I add a little bit more blue. And I think we do have a nice one here now. I think I need a little bit more on the yellow side. And white. Lighten it up. A lot of mixing going on here. You'll know right away, at least I do, when I put on the value color. You go, that's not it. And let's brighten that color up just a little bit more. Add a little warmth to it. Brighten it up. Add some medium. There we go. Some of these junipers are just a little too big, so I'm shrinking them as I go back. I'm going to go back to a little bit of blue in here, and cool it down just a bit back in here. And you see that design is starting to show up with a lighter background in there. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. This big configuration needs to be broken up to a smaller size. And you say, why did I make that decision? Well, things go back, things get smaller and not bigger. So I'm making these ones as they go back to go smaller, and I'm surrounding them with a lighter color. It's a lighter value color. So these are going to be a little darker here. This needs to be lightened up. Okay. So in part 4, I do a lot of getting back to take a look at it. This is not a time to kind of rush it through. It's kind of a time to make judgment calls and to relax and make your best call by getting back and looking at your work. So many of the people I painted with, my early students, they get so close to the painting. I make my judgments from back there. Okay, I just took a sip of my coffee and I'm ready to work on some value colors on top. So this nice warm color I made here, I'm going to mix into my green to lighten it up. Look at the side of my brush, it is really shallow. I'm almost touching the canvas with my knuckles. And I do that with these nice round brushes. They hold a lot, and you might as well get the paint off of them and twirl them. You can kind of see how I do that in my, just move it like that with my thumb back and forth to get the value color off. Oh wait, get in the right pile here. And I'm going to get some value on these guys that are up against the hill here. I'm going to try some of that up here. This is also, you know, when I made this mixture between the yellow and the transparent oxide red, it's almost like an ochre gold. It really has a glow to it. And it's really nice. First of all, I have some design changes in here. Let me get some, I'm going to work in this foreground here for a little while. Some of these bushes are a little too undefined, and I'm going to work the background to bring out the shape of the bush. This, I went a little too goldy on that. Let me knock that down. Getting some more darks in some of the bushes. Oh boy. So now I'm stepping back, drinking my coffee again. And I really like the feel of my foreground here. I really like it. And let's go in and get some of my darker, greener colors here, this browny green. And I think I need some right up in here, too. I need some gold back in here. These are a little too bold. Here, too. And last but not least, let's experiment with some of the gold. Easy with some of these junipers right here. Okay, I brightened them up a little bit. That's nice. And sometimes you can brighten up a bush just by working the ground around it. Just a little bit. And I think I want to brighten this up right here. I may have dulled it too much. So I'm going to add a little white to my mixture. See what this does. All right, let's make some alizarin, cad red, and yellow, and yellow, and more yellow. And a little bit more alizarin. It's kind of a duller red. The cad red light is like brighter red. So the two reds I've chosen here, kind of a good spectrum of the reds. And let me see what I can do with a little bit of this gold ochre color I've created and mix it into some of the red. Dulling it down with just a touch of green. And we will add some reds in some places. Don't think I'm hitting it yet. Let me get some more red in here. Why am I mixing with my brush? I have no idea. Not good. There we go. Some dull red. Dull red. And I'm putting some reds in the local environment here. That's too hard, so I added a little bit more white to it. And I'm going to bring this nice color down into this area here to say, hey, we're kind of related. And I'll put some more over here and carry it off the painting. And if it's, I have an area that's just too greeny, I'll just put some red in it to balance it. You know, red and green kind of make a gray. And that warm in there, I think, helps it out. Now, there is some warm in other places, and I will see what I can do to bring that into the painting. So if you have a chance to go from Moab to Monticello, look to your left and you'll see this configuration of hills. And here I'm putting more red, kind of as a lead in here. Let me really thin this down now. Thin, thin, thin. And let's see what this does in this area of thin, 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 thin. A little bit of orangey color here. So this is more of a thin wash that I'm putting on here. And I will put it right in here and here. And it calms the green down just a little bit. And see, we have desert color also in our hill. I'm not even paying attention to the time. I better get that looked at before I make too many more color commitments here. And I'm going to start back in here and knock it down. More. Here, here, here. Well, it's pretty. It is pretty. Hope I'm not over prettying it. So I will soften my edges up here with the side of my brush. And soften some of my greens with this gentle wash that I'm putting over the bushes. Kind of spreading the wealth here. And I'm putting some over the junipers as they go back. See my thumb, I'm just using my thumb to twirl that brush. Boy, that was a big noise maker. Okay, I'm going to get back one more time. Oh, that is a nice lead in right here. I love these guys. They're kind of nondescript, but they say, hey, there's little shrubbery things here. What's so nice after you get to this point in the painting, you just want to get back and look at it and enjoy it. You know, and say, okay, is there something I'm not balancing right? I think my juniper tree here is a little too lollipoppy. So I am going to, what is the noise going on over there? Let's see what's going on. You're fine. I thought my computer was saying, I'm going to turn myself off, but he's on. So my laptop is helping me work my, this, my image here on the right, so I can see what I'm painting here. Okay, some of these oranges now are a little too strong, so I'm going to go back with some of my green and knock them out. Just keeping things a little bit soft with this. All right, let me get my juniper tree shaped out a little bit more. So he's goofy looking. It's more juniper-y. All right, that works. And I will get a little bit of warm in there. Just a little. Which still keeps my darks down below. Still need those good darks right in here. And here I need a little bit more juniper. Now there's an old dead tree right in front of that thing, over here in the lower left, and I'm contemplating if I should put it in or not, so I'll try it. Let me check my time. Oh, I got time. All right, let's get a gray. So let's go red, green, brown, blue, a little bit of red, and some white on one side, and a little bit more white. You can see the gray coming out now. It's pretty. All right, so I've got a number 1, round, and I'll see what that does. I need dark and light in that tree. So here it is. I'm going to twirl this thing and load it up on both sides and try to bring out a tree. And some more. I think it's a double, 2 trunks, so I'll do that. And I think I'm going to change over to dark here. So I'm going into darker color I have here. And some more green, blue. And let's see if I can do this. And this. I'm really holding this thing light. I'm not pushing. I'm just kind of dragging it. Kind of hold my breath when I do it. And let me try some lighter values to could probably use a lighter, smaller mixture. I'm going to go lighter, a little bit of medium in it. And a little bit more light on the base. And if you make it too thick, go ahead and mix up some dark and thin it, like I am doing now. But I want a little too blue. Let me get some light in here. And a little bit of green on the other side to show juniper. All right, I think I better leave that alone other than trying to lighten this trunk right here a little bit. And I'll put a few lights in here too. And here. I'm a little stingy with the shadow color right here. Let me see what I can do here. A little bit more blue. More blue. And here, too much light, knock it down, add some red. And I need some desert color right in here. So I'm going to bring some. And I need some shadow coming into there. Whew, okay. Well, you can see I'm playing around with a lot of these things here, and I think you come to a point where maybe you need to think about backing off and leaving it alone. There's always this discussion of when do you know your painting's done? Well, you know it's done when it's done. But sometimes you have to watch yourself. It's so much fun to play with these little doodads here that you can overdo it. But let me get a few shadows into here. So I'm using some of this shadow color too. Define the bushes. And a little of this, a little of that with shadow, and I think I'm done. So if that's the case, I better sign it. So I'll go a little with this warmer color, and I'll put my John Henry here. And that is a painting. Okay, one more thing. Let me gold these down just a little bit. Right up in here. Get some of that gold I made. Okay. Done. Wow. Okay, so what is this, 14 by 21 or 23 or something? And just enjoyed every inch of it. Getting back to look at it, and I think this combination, this balance between the green and red, which are complements, really make it for a nice balanced painting. And I think it's staying bright enough, with these subtle warm colors I made. And so far, I think we're good. All right, with that, thank you so much for coming by. And next week is Thanksgiving, so I'm going to be off that week. But I'll see you the week after with a new painting. All right. Bye-bye.